Dr. Stephen Schaeffer was testifying at the involuntary manslaughter trial of the singer's physician, Dr. Conrad Murray. Dr. Schaeffer dismissed the idea that the star could have drugged himself, an earlier argument put forward by the defense, as crazy. Dr. Murray denies the charges. Dr. Schaeffer also suggested Dr. Murray gave Jackson a larger doses of powerful sedative than he told the police. The expert who helped write the guidance printed on every bottle of propofol walked the jury through a number of possible scenarios in the hours leading up Jackson's death during his testimony on Thursday. The Columbia University professor said it was not unlikely that the star was on an IV propofol drip when he stopped breathing, but that Dr. Conrad Murray was out of the room. The propofol kept flowing as the star's lungs emptied and even as he was dead, Dr. Schaeffer told the jury. He also suggested Dr. Murray gave Jackson 100 ml of propofol, a larger amount than 25 ml Dr. Murray claims he has administered. This fits all the data in this case, and I am not aware of the single piece of data that is inconsistent with this explanation, Dr. Schaeffer told the court. Dr. Schaeffer testified on Wednesday that the drug should never be used to treat insomnia, and Dr. Conrad Murray's negligence was directly responsible for Jackson's death. We are in pharmacological never land here, something that was done to Michael Jackson and no one else in the history to my knowledge, he told the jury. He said of Dr. Murray's delay in calling 911, I almost don't know what to say. That is so completely and utterly inexcusable. The expert in anesthesiology added Dr. Murray should have refused to star's request for propofol. Saying yes is not what doctors do, said Dr. Schaeffer. A competent doctor would know you do not do this. 6 dead in Nepal military rescue plane crash. A military aircraft with 6 people on board, which went missing in Nepal, has been found to have crashed, killing all 6 people on board, officials say. The plane was returning to Kathmandu carrying a medical team from rescue mission in western Nepalgunj town when it lost contact with the officials. Rescuers said that some of the bodies were badly mutilated. Plane crashes are fairly common in the mountainous Nepal. Last month, 19 people died in a crash near Mount Everest. In another crash last month, December, all 22 people traveling in a small passenger plane were killed east of Kathmandu. An army spokesman said the Britain-Norman Islander plane involved in Tuesday's accident lost communication while flying over the national park in Banglung district. The plane was carrying a patient along with a doctor, a nurse, and a relative of the sick person. There were 2 crew members on board. The plane was scattered into pieces in a dense forest in gorge-like area in the remote hills, senior police official Uma Prasad Chaturvedi told AFP news agency. This morning, on last Wednesday, the rescuers retrieved 4 bodies. 3 of them have been badly damaged. Hence, it's hard to identify their gender even. Nepal Army spokesman Rabindra Chetri told the Associated Press that the wreckage was located in an area which was difficult to reach because of the terrain and inclement weather. Mobile phone brain cancer link rejected. Further research has been published suggesting there is no link between mobile phones and brain cancer. The risk mobiles present has been much debated over the past 20 years as use of phones has soared high. The latest study led by the Institute of Cancer Epidemiology in Denmark looked at more than 350,000 people with mobile phones over an 18-year period. Researchers concluded users were at no greater risk than anyone else of developing brain cancer. The findings published on the British Medical Journal website come after a series of studies have come to similar conclusions. But there has also been some research casting doubt on mobile phone safety, prompting the World Health Organization to warn that they could still be carcinogenic. In doing so, WHO put mobile phones in the same category as coffee, meaning a link could not be ruled out but could not be proved either. The Department of Health continued to advise that anyone under the age of 16 should use mobile phones only for essential purposes and keep all calls short. The Danish study, which built on previous research that has already been published by carrying out longer follow-up, found there was no significant difference in rates of brain or central nervous system cancers among those who had mobiles and those that did not. We'll move on to the business world. Indian workers end 2-week strike at Maruti Suzuki. Workers at India's top car maker Maruti Suzuki have called off a 14-day strike, which has seriously affected production, media reports say. The company has agreed to reinstate over 1,200 sacked employees, both permanent and casual, at its factory in northern Haryana state, reports continued. The car maker has been hit by a series of strikes in recent months. Maruti Suzuki, a joint venture partner of Japan's Suzuki Motor Corporation, has 50% of India's booming car market. Reports said the company had agreed to reinstate 64 sacked permanent workers and 1,200 casual workers at its factory in Manesar. However, 30 workers shall remain suspended, reports said. It's not clear whether the management and the workers had come to an agreement over the formation of a new union, a key demand of the strikers. The company already has one recognized workers' union. A number of strikes have hit production at the factory since June, when the workers went on a 13-day strike demanding the recognition of a new union. Welcome to the world of science. Global warming confirmed by independent study. The Earth's surface really is getting warmer. A new analysis by a U.S. scientific group set up in the wake of the ClimateGate affair has concluded. The Berkeley Earth Project has used new methods and some new data, but finds the same warming trends seen by groups such as the UK Met Office and NASA. The project received funds from sources that back organizations lobbying against action on climate change. ClimateGate in 2009 involved claims global warming had been exaggerated. Emails of University of East Anglia (UEA) climate scientists were hacked, posted online and used by critics to allege manipulation of climate change data. And in sports, similar script, different ending. For those unable to see the Game 1 of the World Series on Wednesday night, the key moments of that game were conveniently replayed in striking detail on Thursday. At least, that was how it seemed heading into the 9th inning. In an uncanny sequence of events that replicated Game 1, St. Louis pinch hitter Alan Craig hit a late-inning go-ahead single of Texas reliever Alexi Orgando, just as he had the night before, and the Cardinals carried a one-run lead into the 9th. But in Game 2, the Rangers crafted an alternative ending to the script by manufacturing a 2-run rally to win 2-1 and even the World Series at 1 game apiece. It was almost a great story for us, said Cardinals manager Tony La Russa, who was tantalizingly close to a commanding lead in the series. Turned out to be a greater one for them. The series trips to Texas for the next 3 games. The Rangers left St. Louis after fulfilling the goal for splitting the first 2 games, thanks to a textbook 9th inning comeback. And before we close today's bulletin of news analysis, let's have a recap of the main points. Violent end to an era as Qaddafi dies in Libya. After making the capturing pipe, Libya displays the trophies of war. US officials deliver warning in Pakistan over extremists. Jobs tried exotic treatments to combat cancer, book says. Michael Jackson could not have self-administered drug. 6 dead in Nepal military rescue plane crash. And there we end today's bulletin of news analysis. I request you be with us in the coming weeks too. Thank you.